Hello, you beautiful person. Yes, you listening. Welcome to Marie's Memoirs. First of all, my goodness, we are in January 2022. That is a milestone for a lot of people. And before I go back, before I kind of like reflect on the last year, this episode is just going to be me talking to you guys, just reasoning a little bit and just popping some ideas that may help progress in regards to kind of planning what we're trying to achieve for the year to come. So as we all know, January, usually people use this time, you've got a whole brand new year and you're going to use this time, most people use this time to kind of like plan what they're going to do. You've got a blank canvas of 12 months. How are you going to achieve what you would like to achieve? What are you going to work towards? Whether that is financially, like with investments, or educationally with courses, and different qualifications and stuff like that, or even like health, like are you going to be cutting out certain foods out of your daily routine, your weekly routine and grocery shopping, just to kind of like help on how your eating habits are to make them a little bit healthier than they possibly are at the moment. There's a lot of things that we like to kind of think about and consider, and I do feel like a lot of the time January is when we're like most reflective, probably like December and January, because when you're coming to the close of the year, you're thinking about what has this previous year been for you. You kind of think about your highs and your lows and everything you've experienced and achieved and obtained. And then for the new year, you're thinking ahead. You're like, okay, what can I do this year that I'm going to be proud of, so that when the end of the year comes, I can look back and be like, you know what, I did this. Like, this was really, really good. So one of the things that we often do is a scheduler. And a scheduler is in like a year ahead planner, a vision board. There are loads of different ways to do kind of like plans for the new year. So what I'll do is, first of all, you could do and use a vision board. So a vision board is basically, say you've got like a blank canvas, like literally a blank canvas that you normally like paint on or something like that, or like a poster. And it's just plain, and then you'll kind of like cut out magazine pictures, words, different things like that. And if they resonate with you and what you are trying to achieve for the year, for the coming year, then you stick them onto your vision board. And vision boards are great for visual people. If every morning you've done your vision board, because me and my friends have done vision boards before, and it's a nice reminder. Once you've done it, you place it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. And then you're always looking at it, and you always glance at the different things on it, and just make it attractive to what you feel is attractive. Like for me, I had glitter, like all that girly stuff. I had glitter, I had little gems on there, like little intricate details that would just place, little butterflies. Like, it was really cute, and for me, it's nice to look at, so then it's always going to catch my eye. So you design it however you want, but making sure that you have got the all of the kind of things that you're trying to achieve for the year. It's going to remind you every single time you look at it, this is what I have planned, these are my goals, this is what I want to achieve during this year. So every single time you look at it, you're reminded. So that's one way to kind of like plan how you would like your year to go. Obviously, do more research on these. I'm just literally throwing out some ideas. There is this other kind of planner called the Year Ahead Planner. And this is amazing. Like, again, me and my friends, listen, we are big on scheduling and making sure that we are reaching our goals. Whatever we want to achieve, we're making plans. We're very strategic. So the Year Ahead Planner, and you can download it for free online. It's incredibly, it's really reflective. So you've got two parts to it. And you reflect on the previous year, so you reflect on the previous year, and then the second part is you looking at what you're looking to achieve for the year to come. And so really does make you dig deep into how you feel about your finances, how you feel about your career, how you feel about your relationships, how you feel about yourself, your emotions. It really, the reflective part is it's quite insightful, and it's quite deep and emotional if you're actually digging deep and really trying to pinpoint certain things that have happened in the previous year, so that you can either build on some of the things that hold on a minute, that's actually affecting me differently. It's very detailed in every way, and it goes over every aspect of your life. And then for the planning for the year ahead, it actually gets you really excited, because it's one of those things where it will say, okay, what's your word of the year? So you'd have like a theme or a word of the year, and then this word, you're going to stick with it for the whole year. This is your word. So it could be anything, but this is your word. So regardless of what happens throughout the year, you revert back to your word, whatever word that is. It could be peace, it could be self-care, it could be mission accomplished. Like literally, it can be anything you need it or want it to be, but make sure it's something that will work for you. Another thing that they've got in there actually is by the end of the year, think of like 3 crazy ideas that you would love to accomplish. If there were no barriers, no kind of hindrances to anything, what would be your 3 top goals that you want to achieve by the end of the year? And the thing is, when you're writing down these ideas, doing the second part of this year ahead planner, it really gets you excited, because then you're thinking, hold on, can I actually achieve that? No, hold on, but I can? Okay, so then you start thinking, okay, how am I going to put this in motion? And it really does plant seeds that it makes you think, and it gets you excited, and it's really, really good. Me and my girls, actually, we have done it together for the last couple of years, and it takes us about, as a group, like a small group, it takes us about 3 to 4 hours to complete. But we normally do a whole thing of it. So, we'll meet up at one of our houses, and we'll have like lunch, like a light lunch, and then we'll go through it. And to be fair, if you're going to do it with friends, make sure that they are, you feel safe around them. They are your people, because you probably will cry, because we've all cried. We've all shared each other's joys, like some of the memories that you reflect on, what was your best moments of the year. And then when you're explaining it, and as a group, you're just going over the details of what you've done for each section, because that's how we do it. And it's really, really fun. But it can be quite emotional, and very inspirational, and you learn as you're going through each section of this year ahead planner, whether it's the previous part, when you're looking over the previous year, or the coming year. So that's one thing that I definitely do enjoy, and it's very, very insightful. And if you do it by yourself, it's obviously a lot quicker, because you're not having those open discussions and sharing certain sentiments and ideas and stuff like that. If you do it by yourself, it'll probably take you about over an hour, because you want 1 hour to 2, because you really want to sit down, quiet space, quiet time, and plan your year. And you have to dig deep on the things that actually matter to you and have mattered to you, and what you want to kind of achieve. So definitely look into that as well. Another idea that I came across was, and I was speaking with my uncle about this actually, we had we have like 1 hour catch-ups every now and then, and we'll just sit down and reason about different things like business, career, professionalism, personal life. Like, we'll go over a lot of content and stories and experiences and stuff like that. And this 1 hour meeting that I had with my uncle turned into 4 hours. We went to Starbucks, right? And I told him, if I get a ticket for being in the car park for too long, he's paying for it. I'm sending the invoice straight to him. We sat down, and it was meant to be like an hour, just a recap, catch up. 4 hours. And I say that to say this. When we're trying to, because I came to a little bit of a halt where I'm trying to plan for the year ahead, and I kept on like getting overwhelmed. If not because of emotions, because quite a few of us have actually had a very, very tough year. A lot of us have lost loved ones. And so it's been very, very tough. And so when you're sitting back and you're trying to plan how you want your year to go, it's kind of like you're having to manage your emotions with what you're still coming to terms with. But then it's not like you're trying to honor your emotions, but at the same time honor yourself and be able to kind of progress forward somehow. And I'm going to come on to 3 points that I think we should definitely think about for the year coming. So bear with me. I'm going to come back to the conversation I had with my uncle. And so another planning strategy that he mentioned to me was doing a business plan on yourself. And people are like, huh? And I'm like, for me, that makes the most amount of sense, because I'm very strategic. I like to be very organized. I'm very organized. I like everything to have its place. And for me, vision boards, they are very pretty and they're nice to look at. I enjoyed my experience creating it, but it wasn't enough for me. So that's why I've been mentioning a couple different strategies, because it's not one fits all. And vision boards are powerful. They're very powerful. But for me, I need another breakdown. I need another breakdown of more granular detailing, like project managing my life. So literally, when he mentioned that, I was like, oh my gosh, the penny dropped. I was like, right, this is really good. The next morning, I woke up extra early and I literally sat down, and I think I spent about 6 hours doing it. On a PowerPoint presentation, and just going through different dynamics and information and things that I want to kind of achieve, and then putting a step-by-step, like a project management of what I want to do for the year and how I'm going to get there. These are the end results. This is what I'm currently doing in the different positions that I have. This is what I want to move on to. Is everything that I'm doing now serving who I am trying to be, who I am going to become, who I want to be, what I am trying to accomplish? And it has to marry up. And so for me, being able to do it in a lot more granular detail, literally a business plan on yourself. Do your research, guys, and however it feels, or whatever works for you, go ahead and do it. Because it's always good to have a plan. It's always good to have something to fall back on in case you're a little bit unsure about how you want to progress or what you want to do. Or, you know, we all have those moments where we're kind of like, you've got zero like motivation, or you just kind of like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, what I want to do, or anything like that. These kind of exercises at the beginning of the year, or even throughout the year, it doesn't matter when you do it. But I prefer to do things like this in January, where I know, okay, for the next 12 months, when I look back at the previous year, I know that, okay, cool, you know, this is something that I have put in place and I've thought about, and my heart is in it, and let me see what happens. And so, yeah, so those are the 3 different kind of planning, what would I call it? Those are the different kind of planning strategies that you can have. You've got your vision board, you've got the year ahead planner, and you've also got like a business kind of project management in a lot more granular detail of what you want to accomplish. They all do the same thing. It's just different strokes for different folks, basically. So that brings me on to talk about and kind of mention, yes, we have had a very, very interesting couple of years. It's a couple of years now, because we've been dealing with the whole pandemic since 2020. Don't quote me. But we've been dealing with it for like 2 years now, and we're now moving into the 3rd year of kind of in a different kind of living way of society, globally, internationally. Like, there's a lot that's happening, and I think that there's 3 things that I want us to kind of think about in regards to how we want to progress moving forward. Now, for me, I lost my mum last year, and that was the toughest time for me and my family to kind of come to terms with. Death and bereavement in any capacity is always a challenge, a major challenge to deal with, to come to terms with, and everything like that. So for me, New Year's, between Christmas and New Year's, was really strange, because it was almost like everyone's talking about, you know, new year, new me, all this fancy, great stuff, you know, there's so much blessings, there's all this, there's all that. And I was kind of like, but I'm still, when you're mourning somebody and you're going through your process, it almost felt like everybody was ready to just cut off the previous year like nothing had happened. And I think when you're bereaving or in grief, it hits different, because you're kind of like, well, I can't just shut off my feelings. I don't even want this year to end, because this monumental situation has happened, this event has happened, and I'm, you know, you're still going through the motions, and it's almost like everyone's like, yeah, forget the last year, let's focus on the new year. But what I would love to mention is that when it is the new year, and as the new years come, for anyone who's bereaved or suffering any kind of loss in any capacity, the new year, as much as everybody's talking about all these fancy things and everything that's amazing that they're looking forward to, it does not mean that you're supposed to forget about how you feel about anyone that you have lost. I just wanted to make that point, because definitely your feelings are still there, your emotions are still there, your processing is still happening. It doesn't switch off on the 31st of December and then magically when you wake up on the 1st of January, everything that you've been feeling and going through disappears. That is not what it is. And so give yourself permission to continue to process what you are going through and what you are dealing with. That is incredibly important, and I cannot stress that enough. I will be talking about death and bereavement in a little bit more detail with other individuals to kind of really explore that a little bit more, because we are, as a society and as a bunch of human beings on this planet, we are experiencing death at a very high rate. And the trauma that's attached with it, the hurt and everything that's attached with dealing with that. I think we need to really have more open discussions about it, because there's a lot more to unpack and really realize. And people are managing their emotions as best as they can, but I know that there are ways that we can share pointers, share knowledge, share our experiences, that we can all together collectively not feel guilty for taking years to kind of process and be okay with certain situations. It's different for everybody. So with that being said, the 3 things that I'm going to consider greatly, and I would love for you to be open to, is 1, be gentle with yourself. We may set out all these amazing plans for the year to come, but at the end of the day, don't put so much on your plate that you get overwhelmed. Try and make sure that you're setting your goals as you should do, as you feel comfortable doing with what you can manage with your capacity. But then also, if you don't hit a milestone at a particular time, be gentle with yourself. Like I've said before, we are living in a very different time now than it was a couple of years ago. We're not able to do things as freely as we could because of the obvious situation that we're all living in at the moment. So be gentle with yourself. The second one would be, do things that bring you joy. And I say this because a lot of the time we get lost in all of the details and everything we're trying to achieve and all of our goals and ambitions, that we forget about simply being. In the stillness of like just trying to refocus and rebalance, we need to do more things that bring us joy. What makes you smile? What makes you laugh? What do you want to be doing more of that makes you feel happy? you know? So it's kind of like the more things that we kind of do, we should make sure that that bring us joy and happiness and spark joy. We just want to make sure that we're doing that and just not forgetting to live and be. You know, when I said before, be gentle on yourself, we forget to be comfortable in just being. So it's being able to kind of sit with where you are and just be at peace and just be comfortable and just calm, because it's good to be calm and sit down and not be rushing around, just simply being. And that oh my gosh, that's like a whole other subject that I could delve into, of the importance of just being. But like the first point, be gentle. The second point I've just mentioned is do things that bring you joy. Remember to do that. We've got so many plans and so many things that we want to do and achieve, but just make sure that you're doing something that makes you laugh, makes you giggle, gives you great memories, brings you joy. Remember to do those things. And then the third one would be continue to work. Just continue to progress. Continue to do things that you want to, like your goals. Continue to work on your goals. Just continue to do that. And just making sure that all the little steps, try and be as consistent as you can, but be gentle on yourself. Do things that bring you joy. If you feel overwhelmed at any point, it's okay to stop. It's okay to pause. It's okay to take a moment and be like, just need to breathe. And then be happy being, and then you continue. And you continue with these amazing things that you have set out for yourself, because we are all a work in progress. We are all a work in progress. And so it really, for me this year, those three things I'm going to hold very dear to my heart. I need to be, and I would love for all of us to be gentle on ourselves, do things that bring us joy and make us laugh and give us wonderful memories. And then number 3 is, oh no, have I just forgot? No, I have not. Continue to work on yourself. Continue to work on what you're trying to achieve. And just with all 3 in balance, we should have a good year, regardless of what the year, whatever gets thrown at us. Be gentle with yourself, regardless. So, thank you so much for listening. I will speak to you all soon. If you love what you're hearing, make sure you continue to listen to Affinity Extra, and make sure you continue to listen to Marie's Memoirs. I will speak to you all soon. Have an amazing year, right? With all your planning and your gentleness. And I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.